Hi, I'm Monica, and this is the Make More Money series. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about how to actually make real change without feeling like you have to be perfect the first time around. I'm going to explain to you what I call the phase method that we use all the time at Revenue Breakthrough, and it has been one of the secrets to my personal success and our overall business success. Now, here's the problem. A lot of you want to create a new habit. Maybe you want to wake up earlier. Maybe you want to start doing more sales conversations, especially now with the pandemic and the uncertainty out there and everything that is going on. You may be thinking, gosh, I want to create a new program, or gosh, I want to behave differently. I want to use this time to my advantage. But the problem is that the way that we learn anything new, the way that we create new behaviors, the way we put things out into the world is not actually linear. So what'll happen is that you do something really well in week 1, and then it kind of slips in week 2, and week 3 you forget all about it, and then you go back to doing it well in week 1, and it's somewhat inconsistent. And what this means over time is that there's a tendency to not put out a new program into the world because you know it's not going to be perfect and you don't have time to make it perfect, so you don't do it. Or not create a new behavior or a new habit for yourself because you know that you're not going to do it. Or you know that it's going to slip off over time, so then you just don't get it started. So I have a methodology that I call the phase method, and it's something I've been doing for a long time at Revenue Breakthrough, and it's something that I want to share with you as a solution to make getting something out into the world easier, even if it's not perfect, starting a new pattern or a habit or behavior easier, even if it's not perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start with an example. So I decided a couple months ago that I wanted to start waking up earlier, but I kept sabotaging myself around this. I wanted to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning, but I would do things like go to bed late, get distracted at night, hit the alarm and sleep in the morning, and I just wasn't doing it. And I would get to every day and the end of every day and just think, oh my gosh, I really want to wake up earlier. I really want to get more done. So I started using the phase method to make this easier. The phase 1 piece was that I got accountability. So I found a girlfriend who easily wakes up early. She's an early riser. And I said, can we do an accountability call every morning? And she said, great. And I said, let's start at 8 a.m. just so that we're not making things too hard for me. So phase 1, we did accountability calls at 8 a.m. And that worked really well. And then I started realizing, okay, I really want to wake up at 6 a.m. So I asked her if we could move our accountability calls to 6 a.m. This was after about 3 weeks of doing calls at 8 a.m. And then we moved them till 6 a.m. And now I had accountability to 6 a.m. But here's what's interesting. I would still wake up at 6 a.m., do the accountability call, and then I would either fall back asleep for 45 minutes, or I wouldn't use the time wisely, and I would kind of just coast from 6 to 8 a.m., which was what's the point of waking up if you're going to waste 2 hours in the morning? But again, it's all about phases, right? Phase 1 was the 8 a.m. Well, actually, phase 1 was the accountability. Phase 2 was 8 a.m. Phase 3 was 6 a.m. And I thought, you know what? It doesn't matter whether you use the time perfectly or not. All that matters is that you're getting up. The alarm would go off at 5:45. I would get myself up and ready to go on the phone with her from 6 to 6:15 or 6:30. Then whatever I did afterwards was okay. Then I got to phase 4. And phase 4 was I started putting my gym shoes and my workout clothes on, so that by the time I was literally done with the call with her, I was out. I was out running, or I was out walking, right? That was the next phase. And that, and it took about 3 weeks of me wasting the time from 6 to 7 or 6 to 8 for me to really get to a space where I was ready to start utilizing the time. And now I'm much better. Now I can wake up, do the accountability call, get out on my workout, and now I'm really working on honing in on making sure that I use that time well when I get back from my workout, and showered, which is usually by 8, and so that I can use that time between 8 and 10, which is when I start my clients to do my flow method, which is really being productive on a series of tasks. Let me give you another example that pertains to the business. When we do a sales page, for example, and we're putting out a new program or product into the world, and a sales page is a page that has all the information about the product and the buy button on it. Phase 1 is our initial changes and a big picture of the program or the product. And then as we get more and we might put that out, a couple months before, or like a couple months before we want to launch it. Then phase 2 is more detailed description changes. Phase 3 is even more detailed and maybe some better pictures. But the thing I want you to understand is that if we're trying to get something up and out and we have a deadline and we want it out right away, I'm not waiting until it's perfect to get it out. I'm just doing phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So I want you to try this. Try really being compassionate with yourself about the fact that any new change or any new product that you're going to put into the world is not going to be perfect. And try using the phase method with yourself and with your business so that you can get going now, even if it's an imperfect. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and leave me a comment with any ahas or questions that you have. Also, if you know anyone who would benefit from this video, please share it so that we can continue to change the money conversation on the planet together. And finally, please check out the video description because there's a link there for a free resource that is going to take this learning even further. Thank you so much, and I so appreciate you.